On this video we're taking a look at our NBA team picks and total picks for the games that are happening on Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 500 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting picks that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Boston Celtics vs Milwaukee Bucks. Our team pick is Boston Celtics minus 4.5 points. And here is why. The Greek Freak was in full view for the world to see with him backing grown men down like bowling pins and feeding open shooters all game long. Couple that with the board snatching he was doing, and it's clear the Celtics have a tougher challenge on their hands. For the Bucks, it's all about the others stepping up and hitting shots. Jrue Holiday was brilliant in stepping up as a scorer with Chris Middleton still sidelined with an injury. Grayson Allen is still attacking the basket as well, along with being the pesky defender opposing teams love to hate. And did you see Bobby Portis shooting fadeaways and pulling up from beyond the arc? The confidence in the players around Antetokounmpo will be the difference between the Bucks winning and losing the series. Defense will also play a major factor. Unlike the Nets, the Bucks are proving they're one of the best defensive teams in the league when the moment calls for it. The moment is calling for it right now, and they just held the Celtics to 89 points in Boston. The Celtics don't want to go to the Fiserv Forum down 2 games against the defending champs. What good can possibly come from that situation? Tuesday's matchup is a must-win game for Boston. If they want to avoid another Game 1 situation, they have to shoot the ball better than 33.3%. That much is obvious for anyone with 2 eyes, but it still needed to be said. Milwaukee is a tough defensive team, but the Celtics must find a way to get their offense going. It doesn't help matters that they were standing around jacking up 3-pointers for most of the game. The team went 18 of 50 from beyond the arc instead of taking on a tough challenge of attacking the rim with Brook Lopez, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis surveying the paint area. In many ways, the Bucks gave the Celtics a taste of their own medicine and swarming Jason Tatum at times on the floor. The only difference is Milwaukee's other shooters stepped up when Antetokounmpo was getting covered up while the Celtics couldn't buy a bucket. The Celtics were downright pitiful shooting the ball in Game 1. Yes, the Bucks are a way better defensive team than the Nets, but there were also some clear open shots that just weren't falling for Boston. They don't need me to tell them how problematic it would be to go to Milwaukee down 2 games. Another loss could potentially put the series out of reach. The Celtics are still the number 1 ranked defensive team in the league. There aren't many teams capable of holding Antetokounmpo to 36% shooting in 38 minutes of action. The Greek Freak dominated everywhere else, but he was missing some of the same easy buckets that forced Kevin Durant and the Nets to come unhinged as well. I'm banking on the Celtics taking a different approach in Game 2, with not as much attention being placed on Antetokounmpo. They can't continue to leave the floor open for the other players on the Milwaukee roster to hurt them. It might be actually smarter for them to live with a big scoring night from Antetokounmpo to increase the overall effectiveness of their defense. The shots will fall more frequently in the rematch, and Boston's top-ranked defense will come up big late in the game. I'm laying the points on Tuesday. Our total pick is under 215.5 points. The Milwaukee Bucks are averaging 108.3 points on 46.2% shooting and allowing 94.2 points on 39.3% shooting. Giannis Antetokounmpo is averaging 27.8 points and 13.3 rebounds, while Jrue Holiday is averaging 17.8 points and 5.7 rebounds. Chris Middleton is the 3rd double-digit scorer and Grayson Allen is grabbing 3.2 rebounds. The Milwaukee Bucks are shooting 37.6% from beyond the arc and 69.3% from the free throw line. The Milwaukee Bucks are allowing 29.9% shooting from deep and are grabbing 52.2 rebounds per game. After taking home court with an impressive Game 1 win, Milwaukee can take a stranglehold on the series with another win at TD Garden on Tuesday night. Despite shooting just 41% from the field in Game 1, the Bucks managed to pull off a decisive victory behind a strong defensive effort that held Boston to just 33% from the field. They also won the battle on the boards by a 54-48 margin. Over the entire season, Milwaukee ranks as just the 19th best scoring defense, allowing 112 per game, and has limited opposing shooters to 45.5% from the field. The Boston Celtics are averaging 108.6 points on 45.8% shooting and allowing 107.4 points on 48.3% shooting. Jason Tatum is averaging 27.8 points and 4.8 rebounds, while Jaylen Brown is averaging 20.4 points and 4.2 assists. Marcus Smart is the third double-digit scorer and Al Horford is grabbing 8 rebounds. The Boston Celtics are shooting 35.6% from beyond the arc and 81.1% from the free throw line. The Boston Celtics are allowing 40.6% shooting from deep and are grabbing 41.2 rebounds per game. After cruising to a 4-game sweep of the Brooklyn Nets in round 1, Boston was jolted back to earth by the defending champs, who outplayed them on their home floor en route to a comprehensive Game 1 win. Now the Celtics are searching for answers as they look to level the series at a game apiece. Boston shot the ball terribly from the field in the opener, going a dismal 28-84, 33%. They were a little better from deep, knocking down 36% from beyond the arc, but were never able to get any type of rhythm going. They will be looking to return closer to season averages in Game 2 to get back on track. On the season, Boston averages just under 112 points per game on 46.5% shooting. The big question heading into this series was how the Celtics' top-flight defense would do at stopping Giannis and Milwaukee's potent attack. The Boston defense did its job to some extent in Game 1, limiting the Bucks to 41% from the field, although Giannis was able to rack up a triple-double and help the Bucks control the pace throughout. The Celtics are the #1 scoring defense in the league, allowing just 104.5 points per game, while holding teams to just 43.5% from the field. The strength of this Milwaukee team has been on the offensive end of the floor, where they rank 3rd in the league in points per game with 115.5. The Bucks average 47% shooting from the field and 36.5% from beyond the arc. They are the second best rebound team in the league, frequently converting misses into second-chance scoring opportunities. Jrue Holiday stepped up in Game 1 and will likely need to do so all series in the absence of #2 scoring option Chris Middleton, who is not expected to return against Boston. Memphis Grizzlies vs Golden State Warriors. Our team pick is Memphis plus 2.5 points. And here is why. The Warriors proved one thing in the first game of this series: they are not quite ready to pass the torch to Memphis without a fight. Despite losing team leader Draymond Green in the first half to a flagrant 2-foul ejection, the Warriors regrouped and pulled out a 1-point opening game win. Klay Thompson has a go-ahead 3-PT field goal with 37 seconds left, and the Warriors survived a Ja Morant drive and miss as time ran out for the huge 117-116 win. The Golden State Warriors will be full of confidence after outlasting the Grizzlies in a thrilling 117-116 win in Game 1 on Sunday afternoon. Jordan Poole led the team with 31 points, 8 rebounds and 9 assists off the bench. Stephen Curry added 24 points, while Andrew Wiggins chipped in with 17 points and 8 rebounds. As a team, the Warriors shot 48% from the field and 14 of 38 from the three-point line as they clawed their way back from an early 13-point deficit before escaping with a narrow win despite 2 missed free throws from Thompson with just 6.7 seconds left on the clock. Draymond Green was ejected in the second quarter after receiving a flagrant 2 foul, which means he is automatically suspended for Game 2. The Warriors are now 2-3 versus the Grizzlies this season, but have still yet to have their core 3. Curry, Green and Thompson on the floor for a full game. Even without Green, the Warriors' ball movement was outstanding with 31 assists as a team. In addition, without Green, the team's defensive leader, the Warriors became more of a scoring team. In the second half, they scored 62 points and outscored the Grizzlies by 7 points. Bad news for the Grizzlies will be that Green's return will likely mean some updated defensive assignments. With Green on the floor, the Warriors will be able to put the veteran forward on Jaren Jackson Jr., who exploited the other Warriors' big men for a career-high 33 points. Thompson and Curry are also likely to bounce back after shooting a combined 14 for 39 in the game. Just like their opening round series, the Memphis Grizzlies gave away home court advantage in Game 1. Despite a career-high 33 points from Jaren Jackson Jr., the Grizzlies couldn't close the deal in the 117-116 thrilling loss. Jackson was an impressive 6 of 9 from the 3-PT line as he exploited the Warriors' bigs from the perimeter. Ja Morant led the way with 34 points, 10 assists and 9 rebounds, but his driving layup went wide as the buzzer sounded to give the Warriors the win. The Memphis Grizzlies will be going back the drawing board after getting stopped in their tracks by the Warriors in a heartbreaking loss on Sunday. Ja Morant led the way with 34 points, 9 rebounds and 10 assists. Jaren Jackson Jr. drained 6 three-pointers to finish with 33 points and 10 rebounds, while Brandon Clark chipped in with 12 points, 9 rebounds and 2 blocks off the bench. As a team, the Grizzlies shot just 43% from the field and 16 of 40 from the three-point line as they got off to a quick start and stormed out to an early 13-point lead, but they leaked 36 points in the third quarter and just couldn't get over the line as Morant missed a potential game winner at the buzzer. Desmond Bane had a quiet game as he finished with just 9 points on 3 of 10 shooting, while Dillon Brooks scored just 8 points on 3 of 13 shooting. There were a couple of areas of concern following the Grizzlies' opening game defeat versus the Warriors. Bane's performance was a bit troubling with just 9 points. The Warriors have a number of high-quality wings to throw at him, particularly former all-defensive player Thompson. In addition, the Grizzlies' bench, which thoroughly dominated the Minnesota bench in round 1, were outscored 45-30 by the Warriors' bench. Poole's return to the bench gives the Warriors instant offense off the bench to match the firepower of the Grizzlies. Tyus Jones, who hit the decisive shot to beat the Wolves in Game 6, scored just 2 points and was a -9 for the Grizzlies off the bench. Memphis will need much better play from Bane and the bench in Game 2 to get past the Warriors. The Warriors had it all going against them in Game 1, where they trailed by double digits after losing Green to an ejection, but they stayed in the contest and were able to pull out the impressive win behind a big game from Poole, who was the best player for the Warriors. The Grizzlies will be kicking themselves after falling painfully short on Sunday, but they will take confidence from the fact that they almost won despite 2 of their best players in Brooks and Bane, both having quiet games. I think we're set for another close contest, and the Warriors seem tempting at the short line, but the Grizzlies absolutely need this game to have half a chance in this series, and I think they get it done in front on their home crowd in this one. Our total pick is under 227.5 points. There were some question marks heading into the postseason as point guard Stephen Curry was recovering from an ankle injury, but was healthy enough to play in the postseason as he continues to get back into shape. He had a very good Game 1 as he finished with 24 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block, but was in foul trouble as he had 5 fouls for the final handful of minutes of the fourth quarter, but avoided picking up the 6th one. So far this postseason, Curry is shooting 48.2% from the floor, 40.7% from 3, but just 74.4% from the free throw line. The Grizzlies' offense has been doing extremely well during the playoffs as they are second in the postseason, averaging 114.9 points per game. A huge reason is the fact that they are averaging 13 offensive rebounds per game, and the Warriors are not having the size as the Minnesota Timberwolves had in the first round. They also are doing pretty well at stopping drives as they also average 6.1 blocks per game, which is right behind Golden State. The Memphis Grizzlies are a young team that is attempting to prove that they are the next Golden State Warriors team. Point guard Ja Morant had an incredible season as he won the Most Improved Player award and has extended it through the playoffs as he is averaging 23.3 points, 8.7 rebounds, 10.4 assists, 0.6 blocks, and 1.7 steals per game. He had a solid game as he scored 34 points and was a rebound shy of a triple-double, so it will be interesting to see how he attacks this Warriors team in Game 2. As a team, the offense has been doing incredible as they are leading the playoffs with 117.8 points per game while being second, shooting 50.9% from the floor as a whole. Defensively, they are using their size as they average 6.2 blocks per game as well, so if they can be able to defend well, they should be in the driver's seat here. Disclaimer, no financial advice. The information on this channel is provided for education and informational purposes only, without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of accuracy, completeness, or fitness for any particular purpose. The information contained in or provided from or through this channel is not intended to be and does not constitute financial advice, investment advice, trading advice, or any other advice. The information on this channel and provided from or through this channel is general in nature and is not specific to you, the user, or anyone else. You should not make any decision, financial, investment, trading, or otherwise, based on any of the information presented on this channel without undertaking independent due diligence and consultation with a professional broker or financial advisory.